What is up, everybody? It's me, V. I'm here by myself right now. Not sure where Eric is, but I'll be joining us soon, if not a little later. But same with Geeky. Geeky gets off around like 9 p.m. Eastern. So I think he'll be joining us then too. But hello to Cheeseburger Comics, and hello to anybody who might be tuning in right now. We are live on the YouTube, and as far as vertical and horizontal. So if you prefer to look at the stuff, a better angle would be on the horizontal screen versus the vertical. But we do appreciate you watching or just listening. And yeah, I'm just gonna jump right into it, I guess. Let's get this going. Alrighty then. Domer? Who's Domer? Oh, are you making like a joke on the Jeffrey? It was a DAHMER. If you're thinking of the Hershey Killer. Yeah. Anyway, so I have 9 books this week. Technically only 8. I have been collecting The Walking Dead. And hello to Eric. Hello. We are live right now.
Hey, what's up?
Not much. Just going over the books. All right. Starting it off tonight. I got The Walking Dead. This is issue 130 with a new cover by David Finch, paying homage to the Charlie Adlard one. So I guess on lines we were complaining like, David is copying art. He's a bad artist, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, shut up. It's called paying respect. This is the original art by Charlie at the back of the book. And this is David Finch. So, all right. So as far as this goes, we're in the Whisper War right now, and I do love the color pages in this because before we were looking at Rain in black and white, it doesn't really show up as well. But yeah, just having fun with this, and so if you've never read The Walking Dead and you can't afford the compendiums, you should have been picking up these issues. These issues are what's the price on these? $3.99, and they include little backup stories in the back. So yep, the small bites has been going on. It's been if you're looking for new content. As far as Walking Dead being continued, I don't know if Kirkman will do it, but they brought back Capes. He's doing the first 7 issues, releasing it, and then I guess someone else is going to take over and continue the story. Because Capes, I guess, only went for like a couple issues, and then it got canceled because he was too busy doing everything else in the Invincible universe. So I guess they're going to continue that. So who knows? And if someone else wrote The Walking Dead that's not Kirkman, I wouldn't be opposed to it as long as it's not like, Stephanie Phillips or what's her name? Kelly Thompson. I don't want that. Put a guy on it who actually is a good writer and actually knows what he's doing and has respect for the characters. Because I don't want to turn it into LGBT pride. Let's talk about this girl and how she's gay in the Walking Dead universe. No one cares. So, but number 8 for the new books is Scorched. Scorch brought to you by Todd McFarlane and Raymond Gay and Steven Segoya on art. See right here. This is cover A. This is by some guy named Randall. And this is only $3.99. Redeemer basically is trying to find something that was lost, and this guy he's dying. He knows where it's buried, so he says, "Hey, I'll take you to your wife. You're gonna die. I'll carry you, and since you're gonna die anyway, in exchange of me carrying to you your wife and son, let him you'll get less goodbyes. Tell me where the body is, so I can get what's rightfully mine." And of course, he keeps up his saying, and of course, because he's a Redeemer is an angel. There are still some people who do have faith in angels, and the wife obviously thanks him for this. The guy ends up telling him where his stuff is. Of course, there when Redeemer finds the cave, not all is what it seems, and he starts seeing visions of his dead mom being haunted, and basically tries to attack him. Yeah, and at the end, he wants to basically grab his. The dead guy here has his necklace. That's what he wants to get off the guy. And meanwhile, we have Haunt, who's going after a false priest, basically who's basically sold out some people, and he's gonna basically confront him. And yeah, if you guys don't know, the Haunt is basically two brothers. One is a priest, and his former former brother who died. They share a body, and they create this spectral anatomy called Haunt, which is basically like a venom symbiote, in a sense. But then the Haunt is basically attacked by somebody in this book. I can't remember who it was. It's kind of forgettable. But overall, though, I do love Steven Segovia's art. I'm not a big Haunt fan, but if you like kind of like a Spider-Man or symbiote type, character, who's kind of conflicted with morals, fighting against other monsters and demons, this is your book. Is that? Yeah, it's part of the Spawn universe. Scorch is basically the Avengers in the Spawn universe, made up of like a bunch of misfits, led by She-Spawn. Yeah. Still ends. Overall, not that exciting of an issue. The art is good. Clickbait. There's no She-Spawn in this whatsoever. It's basically a Redeemer story. Had they just put Redeemer on the cover A, you probably would have got the idea. But overall, though, I do like Raymond Gay's art along with Steven Segovia's. It does blend well, but you can tell the little difference when they draw in the faces. But like I said, it's a good book. And then the preview for this month, issue 49, more She-Spawn. Yeah, basically, for those who don't know the story, is that Spawn formed the Scorch, and then he abandoned them, and then of course they all basically kind of hate Spawn. At the point, because Spawn's been doing some stuff that's kind of like self-centered. But last issue of Flash Gordon with Jeremy Adams. It's issue 15. We get Evil Flash versus Flash. And it all comes down to basically getting into this cave, which holds the secrets basically of time travel, or basically restoring Mongo back to its former glory. Because right now Mongo has been destroyed. That's what we were told in the beginning of this series. That somehow Flash was responsible for its destruction. So Evil Flash wants to get a hold of this thing. And basically what it is, it's old Mongolian, or not Mongolian, technology, ancient, does it say here what the names are? Basically, like the guys from Mongo, it says their technology is on Flash's Earth, and basically Flash convinces Ming, says, hey, this, he's gonna betray you. It doesn't like he betrayed you on his own Earth, and pretty much you basically swindled you, and you became the rebels and all blah blah. So Ming doesn't trust him in his ways, so Ming ends up fighting him. Flash ends up basically, the good Flash, getting a hold of the technology. He downloads in his skull, and he says once you use it, you'll never be able to use it again, and there will become a cost. So Flash, having absorbed the knowledge, and Ming ends up killing the bad Flash. Mainly because he doesn't like working together. He was going to kill me regardless. So he's going to kill Flash. But Flash says, it's like, hey, I'm trying to save your world, restore your world. Don't you want that? And Ming doesn't care. He doesn't care at all. He's like, I killed one Flash, I'm going to kill the other Flash. But then the place starts coming down, collapsing. And Ming says he's going to fly out there with a rocket pack. And Flash says, fuck that. He jumps on him. He says, either we're both gonna die, or you're gonna pull me out. And afterwards, Flash steals his jetpack and goes to help his people that are being attacked by the other rebel army. He ends up saving Dale. And at the end, he puts in a code or the technology of Dr. Zarkov, and he basically creates a time particle, or basically like be able to. He says, you activate the Unraveler. That's the device is called, the Unraveler. And he says, like, no, and Flash is like, no, I modified it so using this knowledge of the ancients to bring Bongo back before the Unraveler destroyed it. Knitting it back together through time. And Zarkov's like, impossible. It's like, no, it's possible. So at the end, Mongo is now pretty much reformed. Thanks to Flash. Everyone thanks him. And him and Dale and Zarkov head back to Earth, light years away. And pretty much leaves it a happy ending. So Dan Andek's going to be taking over in issue 16. I'm interested to see what he's going to do with this. But it's starting over with an issue 0, though, which is really kind of weird. I hate issue 0s. Because when you're first new reader to the series, you're like, okay, I'll grab 0. But no, 0 is something else. Okay. Yeah. But, yeah. So that's it for this. I'm not sure. Yeah, this is a wraparound cover. Well, sort of. But, yeah, this was through Mad Cave. This is a cover. It's done by Will Conrad, even though he's not on the book anymore. And they have, this was $5 for this. All right. Then we're going to number 6 here. Wolverine versus Alpha Flight. This is Wolverine number issue 15. Legacy number, let's see here, 407, right? Yeah, that's what it is. Legacy number. Dan Panasian cover, which is phenomenal. I wish he was doing interiors, but for some reason he doesn't do interiors, or either he's offered or he doesn't want to do it. And so the creative team for this is going to be Saladin Ahmed and I believe it's Eric Henderson. Mike Henderson, yeah. Now, opening up, you get a preview for like what's coming out. Imperial Guardians of the Galaxy, which, I don't want Cosmic Ghost Rider. I think that's dumb. Nor do I care for most of the people on there. If I want Guardians of the Galaxy, I want Star-Lord, Rocket Raccoon, and Groot, and the rest of them. So Wolverine is pretty much in the beginning here. He's been in his place in Canada. He's been teaching these mutants, basically, who are hiding out from the Canadian government, how to defend themselves. So he's beginning to be here. He's training them, and it's Wolverine, and I don't hear what his name is. They don't say in the beginning, but the end. So they end up like training message. The other guys who are part of their team, mutants, basically end up attacking them, and they're in the training montage, and they kind of go all out. And Wolverine and basically and Silver Sable, who's also helping them too, end up just flirting the whole entire time. But then, basically, this beginning of this opening stage is remind you that these mutants that have such certain powers. This one girl, she's able to make shadow copies of you that include having your powers, but when she uses it, it basically wipes out her energy. And back at the diner in the town that's deserted, Wolverine and basically Silver Sable have a conversation, and basically they're sharing Slovakian, whatever I think it is. That's her name. Samarican. Yeah. So they use that their kind of vodka, and Wolverine acknowledges. They kind of flirt again too, and basically Silver Sable's gonna flirt with them, and she's hinting at basically them having sex, And of course, he's cock blocked by the Canadian government, who basically has come there and to demand him to turn the kids over. The social services, they can help them. And Wolverine basically says, cliche says, like, well, we know what help means. Help means you want to experiment them because they're mutants. You said last time we used the kid gloves on you guys, instead of killing them. We could have easily killed you guys, but we don't because we're not like you. And of course, so the new Alpha Flight shows up with a little bit of. Basically, we got Puck. We got a new female Vindicator because the normal Vindicator is in jail somewhere because I'm guessing this has to do with whatever the X-Men Krakoa bullshit, where mutants are basically locked up and they're used for like, or maybe it's a Canadian thing, but they're only released on like prisoner, like basically military operations, So, yeah, we get Puck, and then we get So basically, your friends James Hudson and Michael, two young men, are in solitary confinement for refusing this mission. Heather Hudson remains in a coma. So they get a new Vindicator. We got Snowbird, Marina, and Puck with a new Vindicator. Meanwhile, we have some guy named Joe. I'm not sure who he is, but he's basically doing some training stuff, and then he ends up getting shit beat out of him by somebody. And turns out, so they don't see who it is, but they go back to the encampment here, and it's just basically Alpha Flight minus the real Vindicator. We get Puck versus Wolverine along with Marina and Snowbird, and then we also have the female Vindicator going against what's her name, Silver Sable. And, of course, we get the classic cliche grr from Wolverine as he's flying up, and then he's taking on bad guys. And Vindicator gets her shot in, knocks Wolverine down, flies away. Silver Sable steps in, fights against Vindicator, but then she easily dispatches Vindicator easily dispatches Silver Sable, which I thought was a little bit out of character, but I guess they're setting up for more drama. And Wolverine, basically at the end here, he's now with the leader of the government military. Says it's like you really pissed me off. You think I'm going to go easy on you now? No. And she basically pulls out this device that puts off like a high frequency and pretty much stuns them. And then we're left with Wolverine kind of in pain, and they leave it on a cliffhanger. And they said the next one's called Cardiac Arrest. Overall, it's a new artist. Last issue had different artists. This is a new Unitary artist, which I don't really care for as much as the previous. It's not the best Wolverine. I'd say it's on par with Geeky Wolverine at this point, kind of mid. I only picked it up because they're talking. We had Silver Sable was in the issue before this, and they did pretty well with her. And also, we're going to have Alpha Flight, and I was curious, because I haven't seen Puck in a while. So, overall, I give it a meh. But I'm also being a little bit easier on it too. A lot of people would say like, "Oh, this is complete rush." I know Doc would hate this, Breen, because it's so right on the character, probably. But I don't know. I think Saladin Ahmed's grown on me, but hey, I'm not going towards Roy North though. All right, going on to what are we on here? We're on our top 5 now. Top 5 books of the week. And hello to Kevin Jackson, Blader, Black Panther. Choose. I'd probably choose Blade because Black Panther's overrated. But even then, like I'm not. I like 90s Blade. I'm not a fan of the whatever they're doing now with Blade having a daughter. And hello to Summer Summoner. And hello to anybody else who might popped in. Hello, Sergio. What's up? All right. So number 5 this week is Army of Darkness with Archie. Ended up getting a variant cover. This is cover this cover D. I'm not sure who the cover artist is though. It says in here at all. But overall, if you're expecting now, those who've read like crossovers between like is we have Punisher and we have uh Punisher and Archie. It was a little camp with a little bit of. This is going a little bit towards the scale of gore with a little bit as far as Transformers. So this is not going to be like your kids Archie book though. It does use the Archie kind of like art in here, and they're basically having a party at Reggie's basically his new lakefront house, and they find Archie ends up finding a secret room, and they go down it, and then it turns out they find the Necronomicus, and this rumble the rumble comes up, and basically there's a lot of Archie humor jokes in here, and of course because Archie read something from it, Rumble comes up, a daddy comes up, this basically kills Moose right away. So Moose is dead right in front of Midge. So if you're an pro Archie fan, you're probably not going to like this. It's a little bit more towards the Army of Darkness sense of humor, kind of Deadite, with Bruce Campbell. And yeah, so basically they're still oblivious to the base. They're really just going on until someone's fist goes to the door. They're freaking out, and we get a flashback to a month ago. In the news story I come across, or basically, there's a dog or a toy it's like a live plushy dog or Stormy dogs, and the girls want them. So Archie's basically his goal. Basically, I want to go get a job so I can earn money so I can get these dogs for Veronica. And of course, the job he ends up getting because he wanted to make money is with Ash Campbell. So, overall, I said like this has been a very camp first issue, but it's also to me it pays a lot of respect to if you're gonna have Evil Dead and don't put the gore in there, it's not Army of Darkness. So I'm kind of glad they did that. I do like the Punisher one that had a couple of humor, but that was more arc. They lean more heavily towards Archie stuff than it did Punisher. And so Ash basically was like, "Hey, so I know why you pretty much got a job here. All you guys get a part-time job here because you want to get these dogs." He's like, "Here you go. Here's 2 of them." He's like, "But I don't have enough money to pay for them." He's like, Ash is like, "Put them in your locker, keep them there for about a month when you can pay them." He's like, "Is that legal?" He's like, "Sure it is, as long as you pay for them." And so Ash ends up basically telling him a story based or actually, hold on. Does it pass it up? I think it passed up the story, yeah. Ash tells him a story about hold on. Maybe where's that page? So here it is, yeah. I knew I skipped a page. Ash ends up telling him about who he is, the whole story of Army of Darkness. For those who didn't watch it, a brief summary of it. How he fell through a portal back in time, and then got saved the princess, and then the old man wizard gave him stuff. He comes back into the town at the end of the movie, shoots a girl in the hardware section, and then he says, "Everywhere I go, basically these Deadites basically trying to haunt me." And Archie doesn't really believe him. Archie thinks he's kind of crazy. Well, and it looks like we're gonna get basically Archie ending on both we saw Archie with the Necronomicus read from it, so Archie might end up becoming the chosen one and swapping places with the Ash, and I think that's where we're going with this story. But overall, if you're expecting like anything like this art or any of the variant copies without getting the actual like Archie art, you're gonna be disappointed because it literally is Archie art throughout the whole entire book. But it also said it's also in there. You see, it's very respectful to the Bruce Campbell stuff as well. That has been number 5 for this week, and that was cover D. That I paid $5 for that, $4.99. All right, going on to number 4 for this week. All right, Number 4 for this week is a DC.KO boss battle. I got the Homelander cover by Derek Robertson, who is, if you don't know, Derek Robertson worked on The Boys with Garth Ennis. Very good book. Serious. So what happens in this one, we got Garad and this Roll Forger guy. So he's been part of the DC.KO stuff. If you're not reading DC.KO, you might be kind of lost in this, but they do kind of give you a little brief introduction here. But on this final battle, because the end of DC.KO 3, it was supposed to be Absolute Universe versus the main DC of Wonder Woman, Superman, Lex Luthor, and Joker. And instead, he pauses, says, you guys you stand a chance right now. You guys are pretty much weak. So he basically freezes time for a moment, allows them bring back some other heroes. So we get pretty much everyone who was eliminated in the tournament at the very beginning: Black Lightning, Plastic Man, Batwoman, Star Sapphire, and then they make these the separate dimensions or portal arenas, kind of like you would do if you're doing a world tournament. So everyone has their own arena, like in Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat. The first one we get here is that they're in where we get the Mortal Kombat. I know if MK was here, he was looking for this stuff. That's where Plastic Man winds up, along with not sure who the other guy is. Oh, Black Lightning. Wonder Woman ends up in an arena with Red Sonja. So it's Wonder Woman versus Red Sonja. And we get Joker versus Annabelle, which was kind of uneventful, really, for that. Vampirella versus Batwoman. And probably the biggest complaint of this book is there wasn't many battles, really. It was just kind of a lot of talking. We get Sabrina Spellman teaming up with Star Sapphire. Sabrina casts a spell, and it basically ends up like affecting the rest of the universe and starts collapsing them. We get Beneath the Trees. I guess this girl is Samantha Bear is a serial killer, and she pretty much tries to stab Lex Luthor in the process of it. After being found out, Lex Luthor is kind of a little bit out of character. He's afraid of the bear. And of course, we get the confrontation between Superman and Homelander. Yeah, Homelander's like a problem. He's like, no, not when Homelander's on the scene, but I'm sorry, who the fuck are you supposed to be? Pretty much that's his tagline. And of course, so all the battles start happening. We get a little bit of fighting here. Not much. What's up, Jay? Jackson, the non-vertical version. Like I said, if you're watching this on vertical, go to the Geeky Puppet Show homepage, click on that link, click the live tab, and click on the one that does not have the phone in the front of the title. It's very easy. Okay, so we get some battles here too with the Red Sonja. Having a hard time against Red Sonja because Red Sonja is pretty much not OP'd, but formidable. She's got speed and strength, but of course Wonder Woman clears the fight by smashing her arms together, or at least when the sword hits her bracelets, causes some feedback. This is where it gets really cool here, though. I love the Homelander versus Superman. Superman goes on the ground. And he's like, what the heck? And he comes up and he punches him in the face. Yeah. That's actually one of the most talked about things online is who would win, Homelander versus Superman. Some people say, well, of course, Superman easily. Well, if you're going Superman, if he's from like Golden Age or not Golden Age, the Silver Age. Silver Age was a god. But the roads basically are starting to unravel, as World Forger says here. It's like, something's happening. And it's tea time with exactly that's how I felt, Breen, about this. You have Annabelle with Joker, and the Joker getting upset because the doll basically won't talk to him. You know, he feels threatened. We get the basically everything's collapsing and everything, and at the end here, everyone's now in the same arena, and now we got this cool splash page. Now I know online there's a lot of mixed reviews. A lot of people are like, "Oh my gosh, Jeremy Adams just writes all these crappy side things that have nothing to do with DC.KO. Like everything is a tie-in." And I'm honestly, if you mad at him for doing this, DC.KO is basically a bunch of nothing. It's all it is Fortnite that you're not playing. You're watching somebody else do it on art, and you're overpaying for it. But I mainly got this because I wanted Homelander versus Superman, the interaction. That's what I wanted it for. At the end, basically, World Forger sends all of the other people back to their normal realms. Sabrina, the bear, and Red Sonja, Vampirella, and all them, and back to their own realities. And what he does, he uses whatever their power they had from the tournament, and puts it into them and charges them up. And so basically now that they're now powered up, now that he says now you'll be strong enough to go against the absolute universe, which is basically going to be in DC.KO 4, which we all knew. And that's all this is. This was basically hyping up DC.KO 4. If you thought it was going to be something more than that, you missed the point. That's the whole point of this book. Every tie-in is supposed to hype up the main story. At least that's what it's supposed to be. But yeah, World Forager is the guy's name. Right. We must really want to be here, or we're bored out of our minds. Oh, Jackson, I never invite you here. You just show up because you love us. Because you want to talk about the weather, man. All right. Number 3 is Knightfight. Like father, like son. This is the 4-4. Basically, this is one of the most interesting Batman story I've read in a while when it comes to the new stuff. Basically, Bruce knows this is the hard apocalypse, basically testing him, and now he's living in a Gotham that Damian pretty much made safe. Gotham there's no more crime. He basically cured it, basically, and Bruce is basically living as a grandfather. And he kind of feels guilty because he knows it's a test and he knows he's going to have to fight Damian. But he also wants to give in and just stay there with his grandson, Damian named his son after Alfred, R.I.P. And yeah. And of course, we get this dialogue in here in the black and all here. It says, remember, this future is not a gift, Batman. This is not the end of your story. You tried to cheat to win and must be punished for it. You don't get to just live here and be happy forever. You must fight. You must fight this world. You proved to me that you are worthy to return the tournament, that you might be a champion and worthy of being the King Omega. Because that's the whole point. They need a King Omega who can go against Darkseid at the end here. And I got a feeling it's going to be Batman. But so we get Damian. He's all grown up now. And he brings in the rest of the group. Everyone. And they all know that's not their real Bruce because their Bruce is dead in this universe. He's buried in the grave. And they said they're all going to work together. And they said, regardless, we want to make the best of us. We got a second chance, even though we know we might be fake. It's a second chance, in a dream of living in a peaceful Gotham. So in this universe, Jason Todd is married to Ravager, aka Deathstroke's daughter. They even had a kid. He's on here. Yeah. Apparently Barbara's still with Dick Grayson. We got Jace Fox in the background. Stephanie, and then we have Cassandra. And so Dick proposes, we're gonna, the heart wants you to take me down to fight together. You spent years teaching us. You think an old dog can learn some new tricks? and Bruce basically spends the rest of the issue basically planning what he's going to do and how he's going to basically fix all this. And I guess Bruce actually comes up really cool. Let's see. So Bruce actually builds using his armor he had. He was wearing he builds the Bat Box, which is basically like the mother box, the Dupe Technology Boom Tube, and he leaves it there because he knows he's going to end up being sent or punished, whatever. If he wins, or he's going to be thrown back into wherever the next world is. He's going to send him. But he's not determined to use this world against the Heart Apocalypse. And so Dan Moore really excels here. We get the fighting here with Damian in his costume with the sword, and him versus Bruce. And Bruce the whole time is pretty much thinking about what he's giving up, and he's also kind of pissed off because the world would the Heart Apocalypse would even tempt him with this. And at the end here, he's like, the Heart wants him to kill your son, kill Damian, and Bruce doesn't want to do it. But he ends up, Bruce ends up basically getting cut down by Damian and says, I won't fight. He quits. So then it's like, well, because of this, the Heart says, well, screw you. It's like, game over. It's like, and he's like, that was the final test, Batman, to see if you could ever admit defeat. And he says, if you hadn't, I would have destroyed that world anyway. You were never going to escape my punishment, but now it says like you're nearly ready, and this is the last left. The leap of faith, the faith of Darkseid, the ability to defeat Darkseid and rewrite all existence can be yours. I mean, real. Are you ready to fight your allies? To show them no mercy, can you cross lines to re-enter the tournament, become the King Omega? And while he's doing that, he's falling into the thing, this little pit here. He's standing there. The bat ping goes off. The box he built. So we're going to have Dick Grayson, Batman. We're going to have Jason Todd, Batman. Tim Drake, Batman. And Damian, Batman. All going to join the fight in the next DC, I believe in the next DC.KO, because, yeah. Bruce basically played the Heart Apocalypse against itself, and now because he said, like, pretty much gave me allies, you dork. And at the end, that's what it is. I would say I really like this issue more. It's not because the fighting is more, it's because it's more like, what would Gotham be if Bruce, was older and Damian grew up and Gotham was basically safe? Could Bruce handle being just Bruce and not because he is Batman? Bruce is the mask. So it's kind of cool. Like a what if. All right. Number 2 for this week is Dork. Number 1. Half dwarf, half orc, all. For those who played like the Fable games or read I Hate Fairyland, this is pretty much the same type of humor. Very much a kid's book. And we're basically brought to this world here, fantasy world, where the light and the dark are constantly fighting, and they're always fighting, and they're this this called the Scar, the realm. That's what they're in. Endless war, graveyard for both guardians of the light and creatures of the dark, blah blah blah, and in the middle of it is this little like half orc guy who basically doesn't give a shit about it. But he's got talking. He ends up having like a talking shield, and who basically just wants to murder everybody. And all the dork cares about is this having food, because he's half like dark dwarf and half dark orc. So somewhere in reality, an orc got it on with a dwarf. You can make your own assumptions about that. And basically, he's come to, in this book, he's come to realize that this dork, guy, he does not like any of them. He hates both sides. He wishes both sides would just go away, As you said, the light and the evil are exactly the same. They're both pieces of shit. They're both greedy. They don't care about anybody. All they care about is war. And he ends up basically having to save himself once they realize he is, because apparently it's prophesized that the dork would be the one who basically bring back the end of the world. Yeah. And of course, the shield has by its own, and actually just starts slaughtering people. And we get like a Captain America throw here, where it goes right through the guy, cuts him in half, and at the end, it's just nonstop violence. And then, of course, he goes back to this tavern. All he wants to do is get some grub in him. He's devastated. He's basically distraught that they killed everybody. This is why he doesn't want it. They've been hiding for 20 years, keeping their head down low because they don't want to cause violence. And they're at a tavern, which is run by a chicken. And they're gonna have their food. And the chicken kind of apologizes, because these guys are fighting. He's like, yeah, don't worry, I'll go talk to them and stuff. I'll calm them down. And of course, they don't give a shit about the chicken. The chicken's like, what the peacock? And yeah. And of course, Dork can't sit by anymore. He's sick of this. So he goes in there. He starts attacking everybody, losing his anger. And in the end, he ends up doing something he didn't want to because he lost control, because he goes to berserk mode. And he ends up killing the chicken, beheading him with the thing, and he's just so distraught by this. And so now he finds out that the shield is like some kind of powerful thing. It can hold spirits, and the shield doesn't really know what it is either. It's know that they found it years ago, and now the headless chicken is now their companion, and the body follows them. So basically, the spirit got a headless chicken head that's basically with them, and basically it's like, hey, thanks for saving my, I understand you killed me, but you didn't kill me. You saved me from a lot of trouble. He's like, what? It's just a lot of zany humor. So now after this, rumors that he did this, and word gets back for one of the survivors, big in the first battle. The light and the dark are now they're all basically been told by their minions that the dork is around, and they just propose that they're gonna take him out. Both sides say kill him to protect save the world, and just it's just hilarious. I'm loving this. So at the end, they set out their best warriors, and they're gonna go and kill the dork. It's just zany, stupid, fun humor. Just having fun with this. There's a back cover on here too. Yeah, I definitely recommend for being a strong first issue. Now, like I said, a lot of people really didn't like because there's fart jokes in here. In the beginning, the guys are eating like a severed. They basically killed a unicorn, and they're singing a song about these are the orcs, the dark elves, whatever. They're singing a song about eating the meat and killing things, and this you get a dead unicorn head, severed head, and the tongue sticking out, and they're just eating chicken wings stuff, or not chicken wings, but like drumsticks that they got from the horse. Very fun book. And that was by a cover Brett Breen. Brett Breen is the writer, and then on here it is. Let's see, here it is. Jean Francis Bellil is the coloring. So Brett Breen does the story and the art, and it gives you like a beginning here, a map of the whole entire place. So it's basically good versus evil. Have been basically fighting for balance. Gets you there for a while. Jay, you'd love it. It's fun. This was only $3.99. It's through Image. Yeah, I'm glad I took a chance on this. Originally, I saw him because I'm not a big fan of I Hate Fairyland, but this was a fun book. All right, number one book of the week though is no surprise. Teen Titans Go. Love is in the air. That means one thing. Robin is going to try and propose to Starfire. You know it's going to happen. And as they're basically, first, they start off, they're looking for Raven's, like her bluish, the joke is like she has another cloak that she can't find. And they're like, what does it look like? It's bluish, purple, or bluish, gray, I think she said. And like, isn't that the one you're wearing? He's like, not this cloak, the bluish purple one. She says, like, she's like, maybe I left it in Starfire's room. She opens up Starfire's room here, and of course, everything falls out of here, and it's just what you expect from Teen Titans Go. A bunch of Robin plushies, and they're all saying, like, this is kind of a little bit overmuch. He's like, yeah, don't worry. It's all, and he's like, I'm being subtle this year. He's like, subtle. Last year, you were covered in chocolate and tried to, like, kiss, Starfires, And he's like, and I love how he says, like, and Robin's like, it would have worked if someone over there would have tried to bite me all the time because they thought it was nugget filled. And like, and of course, you got Cyborg. He's like, how should I know that you didn't have a creamy nugget filling? So this year he's gonna take her to the Cavalier Cave of Love, a former Batman villain, the Cavalier, and basically teach him how to do romance stuff, and then he's gonna do that. So Robin shows up. He takes his clothes off. He's now dressed in a Cupid outfit, underwear. Raven pretty much says what we're all thinking, like, what the hell, dude? And he's like, I'm gonna shoot her with arrows, and she'll be mine forever. He's like, dude, you're gonna shoot arrows at her? He's like, yeah. He's like, you know what? You're right, because that reminds me too much of Speedy. I probably shouldn't have done it. I shouldn't shoot her with arrows. And the Raven's like, of course, yeah, that's the reason why you shouldn't shoot people with arrows. And of course, so they're trying to hide this with Starfire, but of course Starfire ends up showing up, and then Robin gets buried by his plushies, and they find a box in here. In the box, the present, they don't know what it is, but it opens up, and it's for Secret Admirer. Robin's getting jealous, of course, thinks it's for Starfire, but it turns out it's not for Starfire. There's a little demon plushie in there, which they're not sure what it is first, and they're thinking, well, maybe it's for Raven. And Raven's like, can you please do not touch me when you're only wearing a diaper? It's really gross. And basically, Robin ends up putting his pants back on, because he says, like, because a flame of heart disappears in the middle of the room. And he's like, and just there's a lot of one-liner jokes. He says, like, only a good detective wears, put pants on, very good detective. And he's like, oh, that's what it is. And there's a lot of just one-liner gags where Beast Boy ends up putting out the flaming heart with, like, he basically sprays them, and they're like, where do you get the water from? And basically he's covered in all spit. And at the end of this, it turns out that the plushie is a real after Robin steps on it, and they find out that it's like his name's Kenny. Kenny is a guy who works for her father, and he's basically he says that he's pretty much been infatuated with Raven. He's like, she also know that Raven is amazing, and of course Raven's kind of blushing a little bit too. But he's like, I've always been shy to say anything to hide to her. And they're all kind of making like jokes, like Beast Boy sings a song about kissing Raven in the tree, and then he gets an anvil on his head. A lot of zany humor. So if you're not used to this books, I would definitely check it out. And at the end, they even hinted that maybe Beast Boy might take Raven out to dinner. But this was $2.99. This is Teen Titans Go. It's suitable for all ages. I definitely recommend it. It's my number one book of the week. You okay over there, Breen?
Yeah.
Making a lot of groaning noises and other noises.
Oh, chewing a Hershey's Kiss.
Oh, that's what it is. Okay. But that's all I got for the books this week. Going to questions. As someone, as we got here, I'll do this. So Breen's back on there. All right. All right. And you have here, it says, as someone who's read or reads Batman across different decades, how does it feel when all these versions show up together? Does it enrich the story for you? And do you think these are new readers experience it different? Well, these versions of were all part of this whole entire run. There was no Jason Todd Batman before. We've had a Dick Grayson Batman back in the day when Batman was supposedly killed by the Omega Beam Blast from Darkseid, but turns out they sent him back at the time. So Dick Grayson took up the mantle, and I believe Damian was
A will to marry
Robin.
you by Eric Green.
What was it?
It looks like Jay learned how to do.
Oh, the AI thing. Yeah, that had us. Yeah, that's Jay.
Jay, is that Gail Simone?
Jeez, guys. Yeah. So, getting back to your question, Summer Summoner. Yeah. So these are all new characters for this. Or is that Damian Wayne being grown up, being Batman? That's never happened before, not that I'm aware of. I think it was only in like Grant Morrison. It was like it was called Hellbat or something like that. Where they had a version grown up with Damian, but that wasn't like it turned out to be a clone or something. Can't remember what it was. That his mother had basically advanced aged. But overall, though, they said very fun issue. Josh Williams is the writer of that. If you don't know Josh Williamson, who's been writing the Superman, also been over on G.I. Joe over at Skybound, and also started last week his not Avengers, but his Iron Man #1, which I believe that.
But don't hold that against him.
Well, why? Why would I hold against him? It's a great book. It's a good book. Really. Just because you and Wes don't like it doesn't mean it's not good.
Yeah, it does.
Bunch of haters. Couple haters over here.
No, I told you what was good about it. I told you what wasn't.
As far as her being a villain, she's been a villain. Mystique, or not Mystique, but Black Mask in recent years. So that's nothing new for me.
I have to say something.
Go ahead.
Maranya, cover your ears. Jay. Fuck off. May you step out of your house tomorrow morning to get the paper while Gail Simone is falling from a plane and lands on you.
I'd say one step better. May you and Gail Simone get married and live together.
Who, me or Jay?
Oh, obviously Jay, but if you want to, go ahead.
No. Now, okay, since you do AI, can you at least, take about 40 pounds off of her face?
Yeah, with Ozempic.
You're going to need an Olympic-sized pool amount of Ozempic to do that.
I just want to know why you're sending those videos. That's my question. So,
well,
I did the face swaps, but I wasn't doing like hey, Gail Simone stuff.
Have you seen the ones that you soy whacked us for Richard with the blue hair?
Those are awesome, but you gotta be careful about that. He can get in trouble legally.
Apparently not. Apparently, if you're I guess once you put yourself out there, I guess it's fair game if you don't say who it is, or there's got to be.
We refer to your likeness goes because but you're not allowed to use people's likenesses in any. It actually says on all the AI things, you're not allowed to use a real life person's identity and make them say things. So a lot of them illegal because you can actually be in trouble.
Apparently, there's a lot of loopholes on that.
I'm just saying, when I read the terms of service, a lot of them will not let you do a lot of stuff because either copyright or just the fact they don't want to be held liable for lawsuits.
Look, there's a Twitter or a YouTube channel that has AI versions of like Scarlett Johansson and Aubrey Plaza making out with their tongues all over.
There are some, yes, but
if they could strike those down, those would all be gone overnight. There's got to be.
They should be striking down because they don't allow AI slop, or as what YouTube says.
We're arguing two different things. I'm just saying there must not be. It must be something they can get away with because otherwise all that shit would disappear overnight. You don't think that Richard, as petty as he's gotten, wouldn't be trying to get that struck down if he
No,
could?
I don't think he has the money to do it. So,
No.
and as far as the YouTube stuff, there's way too. I mean, if YouTube is supposed to be enforcing it, apparently, but if no one's reporting it, they're not going to know about it. Really, I guess. But that's why, as I said, you by law you cannot use someone's likeness and stuff. That's why when it comes to like your face, your voice stuff, you cannot use it in other movies and make money off of it unless someone has signed you to consent. There's a law for that. Actually, they passed it like a couple years ago when all this AI started coming out because people were worried about that. So there actually are laws.
And I'm telling you that they must be very easy to circumvent. Otherwise,
I'm not saying that. Yeah, the people aren't doing it illegally.
It's one thing to just put something out there. It's another thing to use somebody's name, image, and likeness to make money.
Yeah, I don't like it when Trump does it too. If or the White House, if they start using the AI stuff, I don't like that at all. Because then, if that's the case, I want to make my own Batman animated series using AI.
You're more than welcome to do that. Just don't try to sell it. read a little bit, up on these things. I said there are fan films out there all over the place. There's AI shit out there all over the place.
Yeah,
you just make it for fun.
There's a lot of AI things. Like I said, like we were on talking about this. A lot of them will not allow you to draw or do any copyrighted stuff. Like Batman, we tried doing that last night. I was going through it. Bing won't let you do it either. A lot of them for legal things because they own the right to it, whether you're making money or not.
You can go on YouTube right now and type in Superman fighting the Hulk. Someone's got that out there on AI.
And, yeah. But I guarantee they're not monetized.
I didn't say they were. I said that's how you can get away with it. Is you're not doing it to make money.
So my thing is, I would not risk it though, because these companies trying to cease and desist and stuff. I don't want to be sued. So
you're acting like they're hurting you personally by doing it. So I don't get that.
Well, no, I don't want to be in legal trouble. That's why I would never do it.
No, but it seems like you're upset that other people are doing it. Who gives a fuck?
I think it's dumb. Like I said, if they get sued, that's their own fault. I laugh at that stuff. I said I would never do it because that's, to me, they're kind of pointless.
No, you were just doing deep fakes.
I was using a reface app.
Right.
With your face on it, though. And I was sharing it privately. Easy when I started putting it up on the YouTube.
Ding, ding. That's my point. You can do those all day long if you're
privately. You could do it, but you're not allowed that. You should not be put on publicly.
No, get over it.
You're the one who was upset. You're the one that's upset about this.
No, you're the one.
I didn't make a big deal about it. I said one thing, and you're like, rah, 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 rah.
Whatever.
Wherever. What if so?
Anything else you want to stall until Jeff gets here?
Right. Yeah. Let's talk about the weather. How about Jay gets his ass on here?
I just finished this.
Oh, nice. Top of the heap.
Yeah, it's Donald Lamb and Bertha Cool. And this was the guy that wrote Perry Mason. That was his other pen name.
Hold on, I'll make you a full screen.
It makes you wonder how these guys had time to write all this shit. That all these Perry Mason novels. He writes all these this other detective duo under a different name.
Oh, nice.
Never understood when it's basically the same genre why they use the same name, or why they bother with a different name. I know sometimes like there was this
like you're talking a pseudonym.
Yeah, but I'm saying it's one thing I can say if you're a guy writing romance novels, you might take a female pen name, because if you're writing a book like Smoldering Love in the Rockies, written by Biff Jerky, it may not fly off the shelf.
It's funny you bring that up because that was Mick Legends of Tomorrow. He was writing romance novels,
right? But he was using a fake name.
Yeah. I guess so, because sometimes they sell better if you use a name.
I get that if you're writing a different genre, but basically Donald Lamb and Bertha Cole, the detectives in this,
Yes.
could have worked for Perry Mason. It is the exact same kind of book. So why not just write that under your real name? I don't know why if it was like tax purposes.
Could have been that.
I'm curious. I mean, I understand why there was this lesbian fiction writer in the 50s that wrote lesbian fiction.
Maronia's bringing up, we're talking about the golden age, and have publishers hate one writer by name. The writer and I get around it by using a pen name because publishers only wanted to.
No, I understand all that part. I'm just saying, when you're writing two book series that are basically identical, why you would use a different name unless it was, to save money on taxes? Because
is it two different publishers?
No, I mean back in the day, as far as I know, no. But this lady, she used a man's name so she could get published, but that's totally different story there. But
I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, I don't. Probably nobody left to ask because everybody involved is long dead. But
I mean, there's nothing controversial in it. I mean, like you're writing something that might be like, hey, this guy is very vulgar, like
completely G-rated. Even like I said, even the crimes are G-rated. So
yeah, I don't know. Different companies, yeah. I mean, but it's the same company giving him the same royalties.
We're gonna start the jury tonight.
Yeah.
First Mike Hammer book.
If it's the same company, same publisher, I mean, like having two different names, maybe he let somebody else ghostwrite on that name.
If he did, it's the guy knew exactly how to write like him because the writing style is even the same. That's yeah. I wonder if that information is anywhere because I'm just curious as to why.
I mean, Wikipedia maybe have it.
There's a lot of writers used there's a Donald Westlake and another famous writer. Shoot, I know the name. If you said they combined to form an identity called Sheldon Lord, so they could write lurid lesbian fiction in the late 50s, and they didn't want it getting back to their names.
Yeah,
but I said there's nothing in the Donald Lamb or the Perry Mason books that you would be embarrassed by. So that's why I'm curious why there was an AA fair.
I'll look up Donald Lamb, see what it says. Maybe it isn't there.
Well, I know I did too. Maybe.
Donald Lamb was the name of the writer, and it was for Perry Mason.
No. That's the character.
What's the character? What's the writer's name?
The writer's name, the guy who wrote the Perry Mason books, was named Earl Stanley Garner. Let's see. Earl Stanley Garner used the pseudonym A. Fair for his Cool and Lamb detective series to avoid flooding the market with his name while already publishing numerous Perry Mason novels. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. There you go.
It's funny. It's funny how different thinking, because that's honestly, that's kind of like how, remember when DC in the 60s didn't put the number one on their new titles?
Yeah.
But they didn't think people would be interested. And now you can't get enough number ones. If you're a great writer, you want your name on everything now. If that's the reason. I know there's other people that still use
for credit,
pseudonyms, nom de plumes, things like that for various reasons, but it's not to keep from flooding the market because you got so much out there that people want. But
yeah. Ronnie's saying that Gardner wrote pulp novels as Charles Green. Yeah. Honestly, I mean, most of I think probably you want to have a pseudonym because if you're writing something that may come back to light, bite you in a book or
Yeah,
writing.
that's why I told you about the Sheldon Lord.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look at
I don't want to. It's driving me nuts.
Steven Segoya has been doing. He did that Yuri kind of like smut based book he was doing for a while. They just released it again, like the trade copy of it for $10. I forget what it's called, but it was basically like bondage and stuff. BDS it. No, yeah,
Lawrence Block is the other writer. Have you heard of him?
no.
He's a very famous writer. And Donald Westlake's he's passed on. Lawrence Block, if he's still alive, he's past retirement age for like to write, but and those two combined to form that identity to write.
If you ask me to think of like actual like writers and stuff, other than Michael Connolly, the first name comes past my head is Josh Grisham. From the 90s. John Grisham, yeah. That's the name that pops in my head. People ask me like, famous writers because his books were everywhere. And
Connolly, the guy who wrote Bosch.
Yeah.
Okay, and because I'm thinking of there's another guy that wrote his name's similar to that. No, it's not similar now I think about it, but yeah, until I started really getting into novels. I mean, I knew the names of the big guys like the Raymond Chandler's, the
James Patterson, I think his name is.
Well, yeah, James Patterson. I don't read that stuff. But,
but I'm saying it was John Grisham and James Patterson where I saw those everywhere.
Well, Harlan Coben. Here's how you can tell who's got the most mass appeal. Go to a half price books. Go into the used mystery paperbacks. The three writers we just named, will all have an entire section of shelf, like 7-8 rows of their stuff.
Another writer I came to like is about during COVID, I was reading the Odd Thomas series by Dean Koontz. He's another one. Yeah. So here's another one that popped up for me. But if you talking about who's the famous writers of this generation, well, I don't read a lot, but I can tell you what names I see always on the bookshelves. It was always Patterson and Grisham.
Yeah, Mariah, that's what started the conversation. That book I showed was a Bertha Cool and Donald Lamb novel that Hard Case Crime published, and that's what got to think. Why he was under the two different names, and we got the answer. Thank you, Grok.
Why would you ask Grok, bro? Do your own research. It's all I see online.
I said I was thinking, I forgot what I was gonna say. No, well, couldn't have been too important. But that book I showed, that's the fourth book I've knocked off this week already.
Yeah. I'll just say this. So I just saw the video. Gail Simone isn't that bad looking. It's her personality that's worse than her looks. She looks average. She looks like the average American right now. But I feel like she'd probably like bake me cupcakes and eat all before I get any.
Yeah.
But honestly, like I said, I've been going back and reading her Birds of Prey stuff. Been enjoying that. But I mean, like, as far as today's stuff,
Gail Simone was a good writer. Period.
I feel like a lot of writers were social media were better writers because they didn't focus on all this activism bullshit and they actually put forth a good story.
That's what opened the door to it. You're absolutely right.
Yeah. You get rid of this activism stuff.
Earl Stanley. Well, that makes sense. Perry Mason, but when did he have time to practice law? I mean,
he's always in the garden.
He was pumping out novels the way George Jones was pumping out records.
Right.
Like every other day, it seems like there's a new one.
Oh my gosh. Last night we recorded for Saturday morning. We're gonna put up Golden Age Hawkman and Flash coming up. So we recorded that last night. And that was the first time we've actually had the Lester sisters on with last night reading Golden Age Hawkman and Flash. And let me just say there's a lot of slavery in those books, especially the Hawkman. A lot of white women being taken prisoner in the Middle East by Arabs. And it's and there is murder. Hawkman does kill because that's what a hero does. But the Flash one was pretty interesting too. I'm trying to think back then. I thought the Flash, his identity was public, right? Jay Garrick, because he never wore a mask, and unless he blurred his face.
I don't think that's a good question. I don't know if he has to secret identity or not.
Because in this issue 6 of the Flash Comics, Jay Garrick actually ends up. You notice that these racers are getting. There's a gambling racket going on. So these track field guys are basically being drugged on their shirts, and then they're losing the race. And so he ends up joining one of the contestants and basically runs these guys out. He basically runs the race using his speed powers and making everybody like spit their coffee out in the booth up there, calling the sports. And it was just interesting. Like, okay, now Jay, nobody knows you're the Flash, or it was funny. Hey, he's finally here.
Hey, what's up?
Stalling our asses off as we wait for you.
Sorry, I just and of course I have one book because for some reason now Lunar isn't getting our stuff to this comic book shop. It wasn't just Diamond who didn't do it. Now it's Lunar. It's not like the shop screws up and doesn't get stuff.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
My normal shop is getting all their books in finally. That's they got it all straightened out. They're ordering everything, so it's been wonderful.
But I did get one, and that would be Ripcord.
Okay.
It is a Colin Bunn book.
I think you've shown that before. Is it a new number 1 or is that a?
No, I just got that yesterday.
No, I meant is this a new series for you, or did you have Ripcord? Okay.
Yeah, it's a number 1.
Hold on, let you make you a full screen there so you can.
Sorry.
That's okay. Let me make it bigger.
Okay, I can make a couple jokes that I won't. But let me get this out of here so we can.
Want me to whip this out?
Excuse me while I whip this out. One of the greatest movies ever, but funniest movies ever, by the way.
I still like the silent movie they did with Paul Newman is in there too.
So basically, it is pray for us on the wild side. Ripcord. The drug known as Ripcord has become the scourge of the world. It's extremely addictive and doesn't just alter your perceptions. It fundamentally alters who you are. Ripcord users have their whole bodies taken over by the substance, and it transforms them into mindless, frenzied killers who want nothing but to destroy. And then it takes this makes every place in the drug has grown popular dangerous. Then Dylan, that is the main character. She's one of thousands of people. She's out looking for her sister, and it is.
So is it like the Crazies?
Haven't seen the Crazies, so
the original Crazies. You didn't see that where there's like something crashes and then this town, the water supply, and they start going like nuts and becoming more like unhinged.
Yeah, I guess, but this takes place in Australia, so the art isn't super great, but in a lot of his books they aren't. Yeah. So, this is the first page where it shows.
Majority of modern books are like this. DC, Marvel, or all Tumblr art.
But this is Ignition Press, and so Ignition is not exactly, top-notch stuff because it's fairly new from what I understand. And so she comes up to this little place, and she looking for, it's like a gas station, and she's looking to use the bathroom, and she shows a picture of her sister and says, "Have you seen this?" The guy's like, "No." And she wants to use the bathroom, and the guy's like, "Oh, sure, we're just paying customers, but in your case, I'll let you do it." And of course, you can see what do they get that? What they wrote on the can, the thing right there, the key. And so she goes in there, and it's the typical, gas station type bathroom. And of course, the guy's peeking in on her, so she sticks him in the eye. And then here comes the Satan's something bike gang, and the typical bike gangers are going to try and take advantage of her, and she's not going to have it because she's looking for her sister. Takes off, has memories of her and her sister, and we have some wolves out there going, "Hey, we're gonna go after you." And then the bikers show up, and there's a huge fight where at first she's getting her ass handed to her because it's like 4 or 5 on 1. And then basically she starts getting the upper advantage, and one of them pulls out a gun. She gets it from him and ends them. And she gets hurt. She gets like stabbed in the back and gets hurt, falls down. And at the very end, you have her where the wolves are strung back up. So you don't really see anything of the drug people yet. It's just her looking for her sister in this one and setting up the stakes. And that's it. But then, I do have more stuff.
Oh, you do have more? Okay.
That's the one thing that I got.
Okay.
But I got a couple things in the mail today.
You say ripcord. The first one pops in my head is, okay, it's a drug that these junkies, extreme junkies, are taking, and it's making you unhinged. That would have been a better premise for that story.
Yeah, pretty much. But I got this.
I promise. Oh, nice.
It's the first 3 books of ISOM.
Somebody in our group was asking if anybody was actually buying those, and I said, well, I haven't buying any, but better.
I'm not getting the singles, but I got this, and ISOM is pretty good.
Yep.
That is written by
Eric July is the creator of
Eric July. Eric July wrote ISOM, and that was pretty good.
Oh.
The Alpha Core is written by Chuck Dixon.
Yep.
And that's really good. And then Yaria is written by the Soska sisters.
Yep.
Not very good.
Well, I mean, one's a YouTuber who wrote a decent story, and then Chuck Dixon's like a phenomenal writer who writes a great story, and then the other ones are basically like horror movie actresses, I guess, or hosts.
Yeah, they produce, direct, write, stuff like that. And I haven't seen a lot of their stuff. I think one of my favorite comic book writers wrote something.
It might just not be their wheelhouse, or at least that character, Yeah. If they're writing like a Hyde Street thing, they probably fit them better.
Yeah, but this one is sort of like a combination between Iceman and Storm because she controls ice.
Oh, so it's Storm and Iceman, but they both like guys.
Okay, and then this just is waiting for me, so let me get this open.
Your shoes came in, Farley?
Shoes? Who wears shoes? I wear shoes about as often as I wear pants.
Those are your snow boots. They're in the box. You can take them out. That's a size, 12?
I wear 10 and a half.
That's right. Don't exaggerate.
No, I only exaggerate when it comes to a certain size of something else.
Ah, your T-shirt.
Yes. Yes, exactly. This is the order that the other stuff that my in-stock trade orders that they didn't have the rest of before. So this is
the part of the stream where he hits himself in the face with his hand.
Yes, I'm always really careful.
I would say put the camera down so we can see when you stab your leg, but I'm like, you probably don't have pants on.
I have shorts on.
Sisters had a popper run on Daredevil? I did not know that the Soka Sisters did any Daredevil books.
They did? Oh, I guess they did.
That's news to me. That's I said, that's all far right from Marvel.
Okay. And this is the rest of my in-stock trade order that didn't come in from before. So let's take that knife away so I don't stab myself in it because that'd be bad. Okay.
It'd be great content. I can just replay instant Titantron.
Okay, so I have
like crap breeding. What do we do? Get the popcorn.
Erie number 4.
18 through 22? Or the 14 through 22?
Erie number 8.
37 through 41?
Yep. And I guess this is the last one because it is 11. It is double-sized. Number 11. It is 52 through 60.
Cheeseburger, what was their run on Daredevil? Are you talking about the comic book? Or are you talking about like the show?
Yeah, number 13 came out this week.
Really?
Yeah.
So why would 12 be a double-sized issue if it wasn't the last one?
I don't. Maybe they published 11 and 12 together. I don't know. Because I have 11 and 12 in hardcover, but I think that's the equivalent of the equivalent of 2 of those.
And have you ever heard of T-shirt hell?
Heard of what?
Is that a website?
Hell?
No.
Is that a website? I've never heard of it.
Search from?
No. I only know Redbubble and a few other ones. But they must have did that. I guess their Daredevil run was probably before Zdarsky's on, because I didn't. After Zdarsky was Solid and Ahmed.
I don't think it was the regular series. It might have been a mini series.
I think it was a mini series.
Was it a mini series? Okay, yeah. I'll have to check it out.
Okay, so I have 2 shirts that I just got, and one of them, this is. I saw that.
I saw that coming a mile away.
Yeah, but you won't see this one coming a mile away because this one is most
hands
people
up, don't shoot.
Not,
it's a hands up, don't shoot.
No, most people would not think about wearing this shirt out.
I wish you were dead, and not because I'm a neck.
I am going to be wearing that shirt.
Hey, Beckman.
Yeah.
I'm sure at some point you've gone through life and seen these kind of shirts and say, I wonder what kind of asshole wears those shirts. And
the same guy who wears the female body inspector shirts.
Now I'm.
No, I have more class than that.
Almost 64 years old, and I finally know somebody that does.
Yep.
So, yeah.
And you'd never be caught dead wearing a "Don't Be a Richard" shirt.
No, of course not. I'd be caught alive wearing it and wear that in public at a comic convention.
I think Jeff might wear the one that says "I love Richard." All right, is that it? Okay.
Yes. I actually had a shirt. I don't know where it is, but it says "Gerbil Rights." And Most people don't get it.
I understand it right away.
Yeah.
Um,
I was wearing it one time and I forgot that I had it on, and a friend took me to a gay bar, and we were walking around, and I got a couple of dirty looks. Some people thought it was funny, but a couple of people thought it were not. Did not.
Green,
think
did
that
I
was funny.
share with you there was a Richard Gere one with the gerbil?
I sent you that.
Okay.
And then you put it in the sports box before I think you checked that I'd sent it to you.
No, you did send it to me. That's where I got it from.
Oh,
yeah.
Anchorage has a population of a little over 300,000. So
that is hilarious, though. Or maybe I'm not seeing it now. Oh, that's what it was. Yeah. Because Jeff, they did it for Groundhog's Day. It shows a picture of Richard Gere holding a gerbil. It says, and it says, "Looks like 6 more weeks of winter." Black Widow. They wrote. Okay, okay. He's in Alaska.
Oh yeah,
we're really gonna see it.
That's what it was. The Black Widow.
All right.
It wasn't Daredevil, but
yeah, because I'll say there. As far as Black Widow, there's been a couple different writers on there, but never really ongoing. There always been miniseries. The last time I checked out anything Black Widow was, I think it was the Kelly Thompson run, 2020.
Black Widow probably can't sustain a long, an ongoing anyway.
Well, it's because they don't have good writers. If you had someone like Chuck Dixon on there, or even Mary Jo Duffy, that book would be selling.
Oh, speaking of a new series, I already called my LCS and told them I want this on my pull list. There's a new Firestorm series coming out.
Firestorm, really?
Yes, the Ronnie Raymond version. So,
I've always said if they really want to sell Firestorm comics at DC, have a Palestine and a Jewish man form Firestorm, and it'll sell. But I know it's tasteless. So are the books.
That's one of the things about our channel is we.
I've always stood on this channel. It says right now, if you read the about me, it says warning: the jokes on here are not good.
Nor other shirts.
See, look, at least one person likes when I joke around here, Breen. I have only one fan.
Zach loves it when you joke around.
I like having Zach on the channel. Zach
he is. As much, I give him a hard time, but that's, it's my military in me. The more you bust someone's balls, the more you like them.
Well, I never touched Zach's balls, but sure, I'll take your word for it, though.
It says too far away, for different states and stuff. But
no, I guess I miss having Zach on the channel. Zach likes a lot of books, just like you. You like books that we specifically aren't going to read. You check out. You're kind of more like the indie guy. Zach is more he's more into the DC kind of the cosmic kind of stuff. So we get a little bit of Ryan North and and a whole lot of DC JSA stuff. That's why you don't see the JSA books on here, because I dropped the title by Jeff Lemire. I thought it was dreadfully boring. Zach liked it. And I know some of you are in the chat probably liked a lot of books that we're not showing here. And so that's why they're not on here. I mean, not because I just don't like them. So I'm not punishing you guys by saying I'm not going to buy the books. That's what I mean.
Hey, Cheeseburger, I wanted the Thundar too. That didn't show up. That was one of the ones that didn't show up.
Yeah, the Thunder the Barbarian did not pick it up, but I did see it coming out. But Archie Armor Darkness was fun. Now, like I said, it's not really if you like the Archie Punisher, you're expecting that. You're in for a rude awakening. There's gore in the book. There's people already get their heart ripped out. So you're gonna see a lot of gore in that book because they're heavily favoring the Army of Darkness side version versus the Archie. It's in Archie style, like Stan, kind of like almost like a John, was it Dan Parents style Archie. And then it's I'm hoping that it goes on for more than 4 issues. I'm not sure how long it's going to be, but I'm surprised it wasn't a one-shot. Archie Punisher was a one-shot. Or was it a graphic novel, or was it Archie Punisher? How long was that?
I don't know.
Like 40 pages? I'm sure Breen owns it. I know we read it on the channel here, though. That was like at least 50 pages. Didn't buy anything because Breen said there was nothing to get in the DC this week.
You know, there's other publishers other than DC that are Summoner.
Well, I'm gonna tell you right now, if Breen tells you not to buy anything this week, it's Breen's not buying any comic books.
Yeah, I didn't say that either.
Yeah, he never said that at all. And that's not because he's not buying. And the reason Breen's not buying comic books because they all suck. It's just that he's kind of grown apart from the hobby. He's leaning more into there's crime novels. So
he's becoming a.
If there's a Brubaker book out, though, he'll buy the Brubaker book.
That's right.
Yeah.
I bought 2 new books in 6 months and regret one of them.
But look how much money you're saving on by not buying comic books.
I'm saving even more money by when I order a trade, it doesn't show up. Still waiting for my Doom Patrol.
Right? He's not necessarily retired. It's just that money's kind of tight, so he's kind of focusing more on the other stuff.
But to be honest, after 50 years,
yeah,
even the stuff that's still good has changed so much that if I were still buying, I'd still be getting Space Ghost, Flash Gordon, and Dick Tracy, and that might be it. I have less than no desire to read anything from Marvel or DC again.
No Hyde Street.
Oh, but now this is why I'm not buying anything, because I'll get Ghost Machine, and
if I had it,
not really, because I can't wait to get that Doom Patrol. I love the Hawkman and Green Lantern DC Finest, but the fire for new stuff absolutely has gone out, other than Brubaker.
I will say this. I started reading comic books in 2003. I was really excited what's going on. By 2007, when they ended the marriage of Mary Jane and Peter Parker for that stupid bullshit, it kind of put a damper on it. And then by 2015, I was not liking what's going on at DC and at Marvel. I dipped out for 4 years.
There's one book that I have. I'm getting a couple things from the Rippaverse that I just ordered the other day. But there's one book that I'm really looking forward to seeing that's going to come out in July. Breen and I both have it waiting for it to come. That is the Bronze Age Batman with Ra's al Ghul on the cover.
Well, yeah, that's great. There's so much out there, but not just that. Is a lot of it is overpriced, and if the stories are not as good as they were.
This is the old stuff, and I'm only costing. It's only going to.
Yeah, I'm talking about the new stuff. The new stuff. So even me, I do find a lot of cool books, but I look at the prices I'm paying. $4 is on the cheaper side.
Yeah.
And you get $5-6. It's like, I don't want to pay $5 for comic books. That's crazy. It's like that $5 used to be the price of a freaking Happy Meal or a value meal at McDonald's.
I just sent you my red pile.
Your red pile. Is it a blank space?
No. When I finish the books, I just have stacks of 4 stacks going.
Nice
on my table. And then Coco comes and knocks them over, trying to leave her scent on them. Wench.
Look at all that white hair from that cat. And then there's a magazine rack in the back.
It's about. I can't believe it had fallen over.
With cats don't go for everything because they run up against you, and then it's
no. It was falling
wheels?
apart. Years ago.
Guess what? I have officially retired from
making jokes.
No,
Being cool.
no.
Oh,
watching that abomination of Star Trek last week, I was like,
I don't believe that. You're gonna go on to next week and buy a Tom King book.
I canceled my Paramount Plus subscription. I said no more.
Jackson,
I didn't even realize it was still going until this came on, and then I couldn't even watch it now, even if I had any inkling to, which I don't.
Jackson, you buy specifically only through my comic shop, or do you actually have any comic stores by you? Because you're always saying what you pick up from my comic shop. You know, just kind of curious. Oh no! Twisted Sister canceled their this year's reunion tour due to Dee Snider's health challenges.
Really?
It's TDS.
Hey, Breen.
What?
Did you hear about the moil with the tip jar?
The what?
Did you hear about the moil with the tip jar?
Moil?
Moil?
Yeah.
You're making a Zion joke.
I don't know what that is.
It's something Jewish, isn't it?
Yes, it's a guy who does the
snip snip.
Yeah, he's the rabbi who does the and
circumcision. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, circumcision. So he's the moil with the tip jar. So it's a really bad joke, but it's
more Richard jokes. That's what we're getting here. Oh, alrighty. I have 2 LCSs, but rarely visit them. Don't like the people, or just not near you. It's, most of your mail get some things coming in from 2 different eBay sellers.
Oh, I also one of the things I did, I just remembered, I can't get my Grimm's Tales of Terror through my shop because they say it's a different publisher or a different distributor.
Yeah.
So they don't get it. So I've got like this volume, like volume 5 or something like that. I got like all 12 of them coming here in the mail soon. So I love Grimm's Tales of Terror. Those are the modern version of EC's Tales from the Crypt. Those are some really good horror stories. Better than the EC stuff that is being put out now. Great art, good stories.
Yeah. So anybody catch Dynamite last night? Dynamite, they've been building up the whole Brody King match versus MJF, and apparently, well, because Brody is very anti-ice thing. So and this is one of the most stupid things I've ever seen, but I love MJF's response to this. The crowd starts chanting "fuck ice" over and over again, and MJF just looks at the camera, is like almost like an office thing, and just says like, "Okay."
I love all people on X saying he's not on your side.
I'm on MJF's side.
No, they said MJF. They're saying he's a leftist too.
I doubt it.
So do I.
He doesn't come out. He doesn't share his politics. The closest thing that he's pro-Jewish. That's about it. But hey, what's up there, Bentley Hilser? What's going on? We're kind of towards the end of the book review stuff. So after we're done, if you want to rewind, go back. But what is up? Did you get any new books this week? Well, Books is 99 years old. Epic, man. Dude, I bet you Mel Brooks is probably funnier than still any of these new comedians out there now.
Yeah.
At 99 years old, he's probably still cracking jokes. And bones.
Yeah, if he's not careful.
No, like I said, I forgot. I think it's called. Is this called Silent Movie? What's the name of the one he does? It's a silent comedy film. And it has.
Don't know.
It's the only film he did. It was a silent, and it had I think it was Gene Wilder's in there too. And you had the guy with the Marty Feldman. And there's a scene in there in that movie where they're racing in wheelchairs, and motorized wheelchairs. And who's in front? It's Paul Newman in a race car suit. And they're chasing him all throughout the hospital ground stuff, and it's pretty funny. The woman from The View is 82, and dang, she looks great. Whoa, Whoopi Goldberg?
No, Joy Behar's like in her 80s, I think. She doesn't look like she's in her 80s. I'll have to give her that, but she's still a horrible person and just wouldn't want to go around with it.
I'm sorry. Joy does not look good to me. That's the redhead one, right?
Yeah.
The one that looks like she's, ugh. You know what she reminds me of? Bette Midler.
She got it.
Yeah. A less talented Bette Midler. Probably the same intellect, though. Who knows? 82, she looks perfect, bro. Hey, if you like older women, you pursue that. I don't know if she's married, but you pursue that.
Hey.
Maybe she'll give you some money when she passes on. Who knows? But you do.
You know who was older and looked incredible? God, I can just remember her name right now. Black woman. She was a singer.
Well, I would say Eartha Kitt, but I don't think she's old.
No, it wasn't. No, I had her name up until I just started bringing up the conversation.
Write the shit down.
You know who I'm talking about, Breen? She was
Diana Ross?
No, she was a jazz singer or
couldn't tell you.
What
song did she sing if she's a jazz singer? What's her famous song?
I don't know.
You know that one person? That person's awesome. I don't remember their name, but they're awesome.
Yeah, I remembered up until I started talking, and then I forgot. So it's just that people like me annoy me because they start saying something about that, and they're like, "Oh, I don't know," So
Jackson says Eartha Kitt. Yeah, Eartha Kitt's not alive anymore.
No, this one isn't either. But she was really fine up until she.
Well, that explains one of the two shirts you just got.
Exactly.
Yep.
No.
Yep. Damn right.
Ella Fitzgerald.
That might be it.
I couldn't tell you. I can't.
No, not Billie Holiday.
MJF is married to a Palestinian. Palestinians don't exist. He's just married to an American. But that's the one thing I'm annoyed though. Everyone's talking about all the ice thing stuff, but nobody cares about what's going on in Iran.
Lena Horne. Thank you.
Whitney Houston was hot though too.
Yeah, but she wasn't old.
Whitney Houston, compared to a lot of the singers of our time, she even with age, she had more class than a lot of those other singers.
Yes.
She wasn't ODing in a bathtub.
That's the only problem she had. If she wasn't ODing,
that's a pretty big problem if you only have one.
Yeah, I know. But over, like I said, MJF's married to Alicia Tout. So I don't follow her on social media. I follow MJF, and I said I follow Ricochet in there too.
Ricochet's married to another wrestler, isn't he?
No, he's married to the former. Was it Sarah something? She was the ring announcer over at
the one who had the. Who has the sideshow Bob haircut?
Are you being racist here?
No,
because it's not a sideshow Bob haircut, bro.
There's a woman.
It's called she has natural curls.
No, her hair. It kind of It's
yeah, One of Sex has a haircut too. A lot of them. It's
so it's not racist.
Sideshow Bob was a pineapple haircut and stuff. That. Yeah. Why would you call it a Sideshow Bob thing?
Because it looked like his hair. He's got that, and also the guy from Rick and Morty, who's Morty.
And it's just say it. This I'm gonna say it's Afro. Thank you for muting.
It's the points that do it. It's not it's nothing to do with it being an Afro. Because
anyway, she was a former ring announcer at WWE. She left, and then she wanted to move on after Ricochet left.
Okay, no, that's different.
And people were pissed because she left. They thought that she was going to go and join her husband in AEW, but she didn't. She did her own, tried doing a music career, and it didn't really pan out. So people online are mocking her because, oh, look at that, you thought you were bigger than what you are, and look at your flopping. And I'm thinking, like, people are so obsessed with what wrestlers are doing and not doing. It's like, who cares? As long as you're watching the wrestling, if you're there for the show, watch the show. If you don't enjoy the show, change the channel. But like, the whole gossip about everything is just, after a while, it's you become a character of yourself or what they're like. You know, talking about like, people talking about women, how women like the gossip and the salon stuff. The internet wrestling community is pretty much that. And then you got these dirt sheets that spread money or spread fake news for clicks, and people get so riled up. There's no anger between anybody in WWE and anybody in AEW, GCW, New Japan. They're all friends. They all work with each other. It's just that all these fake journalists on there try to stir up drama, and it's so stupid. And then you have these other YouTubers around there who are spreading the same nonsense. Their whole channel is dedicated to wrestling, and they're always over critiquing stuff. Oh, I thought this was dumb and blah blah blah, and how could anybody like this? And then there's people going off against Dave Meltzer and all these other things. Like, just watch the show. I said, one thing you would talk about wrestling, but I hate when people are just so overly negative about it, though. And that's all it is. I'm like, when you complain so much about something and you're not even watching it, like, move on to something. Go find something else to do.
Yeah, I've heard that before. Go find something to do.
Like I said, there are people who are gonna want to talk about something that they don't like because they want to vent. I understand that, but if that's all you do, vent. And what I don't like it when it's shallow venting. Like, you don't really give two fucks one way, but you're doing it for clicks because you want to get paid. But like I said, I like Wes. Wes gives his honest opinion. So does Perch. And Gary over on Nerdrotics, he gives his honest opinion on a lot of things. And no, I'm not getting paid to kiss their ass. There's things with them that disagree with them on there too. But I
sort of like what is her name? Casually Comments, because she just stays out of the politics and stuff like that. She just gives the straight stuff on like the history of the character and stuff. I really enjoy watching her stuff.
Hey, hello to Aiden and praise the Lord. Jesus loves you. Jesus loves everyone. Yeah, drama with the Trump impression. So much drama, so much fake news.
That's not a bad impersonation.
I don't really do Trump or impersonations like that. Just like, so it's just, but yeah. But thank you. Being critical doesn't have to mean being negative all the time. Sure, you can be critical of things, and sometimes here's the thing: should people who are constantly doing stuff bad, should they be hounded by people? Like, if you're purposely like with the Whisper networks or getting people cancels off, those people should go after them. But I'm just saying personally, there's a lot of people who put fake outrage up because that's what gets you views on YouTube, the drama, or even on Twitter or Instagram stuff. And just after a while, when you see 20 channels saying the same thing, acting the same way, same scripted things, it's like you guys are becoming no different than the news outlets that say the opposite. Now, not saying everyone is like that though, but then hey, that's their right to do it. It's my right. It's my right to watch them. They can do what they want. I'd rather watch channels that not necessarily agree with me. I do like it when people have different viewpoints. Like, there are people who like the DC.KO stuff. I think it's kind of ridiculous, but hey, I'm not going to sit there and like, hey, this sucks. You shouldn't be reading it. People like Gail Simone's run. I mean, I know Zach likes it. So when I say, I shouldn't really say people, I should say Zach likes it. But
well, they say that she had one of the best Batgirl runs.
I'm talking about the current one. She's been on Uncanny X-Men.
I don't know. I haven't read that.
I just gave a so positive review to Saladin Ahmed's Wolverine issue this week. I wish they could see it, but then, now this is against Marvel, not Saladin Ahmed, but I wish they would actually have a consistent artist on there. They keep throwing out different artists, and they keep giving me a damn panache and cover here. And on paper, this looks like it'd be cool. Wolverine taking on Alpha Flight, in a corrupt world, where basically the mutants are basically forced to fight against work for the government as a work release kind of thing. But when you're getting art here that's, like I said, not that great, look at that face. Not the best artist. This is Mike Henderson.
Who's that? Who's that? The one in white.
Silver Sable.
She's got a nose that's about like 8 miles long.
Yeah, these are the faces. There. Yeah. But to be fair, there's a lot of Marvel artists, a lot of DC artists who are not good at faces. They are better when the characters have their masks on. Like, this is Wolverine. He looks good. That's a good Wolverine.
That aren't going to get at feet.
So, hold on. Let me do this. I know. Put myself full screen here. Do you see feet?
Yes, feet. That was kind of a Rob Liefeld thing.
No, actually, if you look at the current, I think it's Spider-Man that has Humberto Ramos. Drew Mary Jane's feet like into stick points. They're horrendous this week.
He just came up here like last year.
Also, this week's an Amazing Spider-Man. Apparently, you guys didn't see this. I don't have a picture of it though, but it was all over Twitter. Spider-Man was freaking hugging Norman Osborn in a Spider-Man outfit, and Norman's like apologizing. Oh, sorry, I couldn't help you. And he's like, and Peter's like, don't worry, bro, you did great. He's hugging him. I'm thinking like, this is the guy that freaking stole your baby. Not only that, killed your girlfriend. All this bullshit. Like, I'm just so sick of Marvel when it comes to Spider-Man and the disrespect. Norman could be fucking Mary Jane in front of him and be like, hey, do you want me to get you a cup of coffee? Sure, buddy. That's how disgusting it's become when it comes to this crap with basically Marvel. It is horrendous. Now, a lot of people who are probably reading the Spider-Man, maybe they don't know the whole story. Maybe you've never met and actually read the actual when it comes to Spider-Man. There's a lot of people who just jump on and then go read back issues. I'm not saying there's not all of them do this, but there are a few people that will go back. And the one thing about social media, there's a lot of Spider-Man's fans out there especially around X now, that do post this stuff, do react to this content, call out the writers. But yeah, there's a lot of problems at Marvel. So I get why people don't want to read or pray for anything new books. Marvel and DC. DC is better than Marvel, but they're not that much better right now. They're better in sales, but they still have their own issues. But yeah, it's not a fan of current artists on any of the books, really. Dan Moore, I do like his art. It's still very kind of cartoonish, but if you look about what we had back in the day, especially, I always go back to the Spider-Man with John Romita Sr. For all those years, for what, like about 100 issues, it was pretty, even after the book, they kept his same style. Because that was the considered house style, and that's that worked the best. But then you get like people like Todd McFarlane come in who just want to draw everything kind of like stylize it. We get Max Bemis, Humberto Ramos, Riley Rossmo. They're all in the same category to me. I'm sorry. Now Todd McFarlane's Spawn is different because Spawn fit his style. But I'm not a fan of giant oval shoulder capes like on Thor or Superman. That looks ridiculous. JR, yes. Junior, Don Reedus Sr. is not a good artist. Bob Layton did whatever he could to ink him, but I think Bob Layton just basically didn't ink it. I think he just erased it and just drew his own stuff. That's why JR looked good in those Iron Man runs. I've never had Absolute Martian Manhunter, but that's the style. Dude, so Robert Osmo did a Sandman book, but a year or two ago that actually fit his style. He's also, I think he also did a Martian Manhunter one in the past too as well. Some of these artists do work better with certain characters. So maybe that's just the case. But Humberto Ramos, when he draws feet, everyone has Ronald McDonald feet. Everyone. Spider-Man, his feet go out. Like there's no way he's wearing a size 10. I understand he's 6'1", but he's skinny. He doesn't wear cement block shoes or clown shoes. Like it's like Humberto Ramos, when it comes to feet, is like Kelly Jones to Batman ears. That's his style. I'm just not a fan of it. But Kirby Superman face, how do you like it? I haven't seen it in a while, but it's probably not that much better than most of other people. I do like I believe it was Jan Jurgens and Ordway's when they drew Superman. But I am curious though what they're gonna do though as far as Batman down the line. But yeah, I'm not reading the Matt Faction run. Not because I hate it, just it's one less book for me. I'm kind of dropping books because they're expensive. I'd be reading the Batman Superman World's Finest if I could, but that one is that's another book, and it's another $5 to $6. Yeah, and Cheeseburger Comics. I know you have your own channel too. What books are you reading? Cheeseburger Comics. I know you always come in here, but what's your favorite ongoing book right now? If you could choose one. If you can't just choose one, I'd say choose one from each company, like Marvel, DC. If you're reading Ghost Machine, what would be that? Because I could tell you which one I'm like enjoying right now. Off the bat, for Marvel, it was Ultimate Spider-Man, but by smarter up, it's always gonna be Jed McKay's Moon Knight. DC right now has been Jeremy Adams on Green Lantern. And for Mad Cave, it's gonna be Dick Tracy. But if you go for Ghost Machine, it's Red Coat.
Yeah, Red Coat and Hyde Street are the best art. Have the best art.
You know what good High Street is? High Street is a book that I normally would not read. Just not into creepy and eerie and all that stuff. And maybe because I don't know if it's how similar it is to creepy and eerie stories. It seems like it's a little bit more positive. But you don't buy Marvel and DC anymore. But that's fair. Simon Bisley artwork. I admit I did not read a lot of Silver Age, Bronze Age, Copper Age, so I'm not really familiar with Simon Bisley by name. Brain, do you know?
Yeah, he used to do artwork for like Glenn Danzig.
Oh, the singer?
Yeah.
The guy's about like 2'4".
Wait, isn't that Oberon? 2'4". The gold standard for DC characters in the still at the Garcia Lopez house style. To this day, it's used on merchandising. Isn't that funny how it's on the merch, but like when it's actually like the interior books, they don't really stick to a house style?
No. What do you think of Capullo? His artwork.
Capullo on Batman was pretty good. I like that.
I just got done reading that Ghost of the complete series. He only did the majority of it. They changed the artist for the last little bit of it, but I like it, but it only works on certain stuff. I didn't like his Batman stuff. there's better Batman artists.
Like what I'm currently liking right now is been the Batman Knightfight, because that's Dan Mora's art there. Dan Mora has been one of the breakout artists at DC. I first discovered Dan Mora when in 2019, Boom Studios launched Buffy the Vampire Slayer book. And the first 5 issues were drawn by Dan Mora. And I swear, it looked like they were just giving you photographs on the cover. And then they opened up the interior, and I realized, wait, the photographs continue on the inside? It's all hand-drawn by Dan Mora. He got the likenesses done like perfectly. Now, there was one artist before this at the original Buffy the Vampire Slayer stuff that Bree was telling me about. They could do the exact same kind of thing. Bringing the characters, like humans, lifelike art. I can't remember I sadly can't remember what the artist's name is. Bree might know, or you might have to look it up. But
yeah, I can't remember it off.
Yeah, but
Cliff
yeah.
Richards, maybe.
What's that?
Cliff Richards, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I thought you had a channel. I may be confused with another cheeseburger. But there wasn't. Oh, you know what I'm thinking of? I think there's another guy who watched the channel. He has like a comics and like tortillas. I think it is. That's what it is. I think it's that. There's a lot of people who have like YouTube channels that have like comics and food in their name. I don't understand it, but hey, maybe they're eating food while they're reviewing the comic books. Yeah. But Dan Mora did this for his book in the Batman. I forgot to show it. He's got, so the kid, him and his grandson are watching. It looks like they're watching Dragon Ball Z. We got Goku and Vegeta on the right. Those are gonna watch it on here. So I thought that was kind of funny. I was like, little Easter egg there. But like I said, overall, when it comes to Batman, I said Dan Moore has been doing pretty well. And for drawing like faces, that's Damian Wayne. I thought it was really well. And then of course, you got Dick Grayson. You know. And I said, when you can like draw a character and not have everybody look exactly the same, I thought that's really cool. Of course, Old Man Bruce, with a Gotham, what was it called? The Gotham Wildcats baseball hat on, and that's supposed to be Gotham City now. At nighttime, instead of being like a crime city, he made it turn into Utopia. And then Bruce working on the Bat Box, and just. Like overall, it's just like I love the art on this book. It's just fantastic. So
that looks a little anime like.
It is, and honestly, I don't mind that. It's not completely over anime. Like you look at Peaches Momoko or Momoko Peaches. I can't remember what her name is. Peach Momoko, or let's call her Peaches. Peaches. Yes. Yeah, she draws manga. She draws manga stuff with her Ultimate X-Men, but it's not good manga art. The action scenes here are pretty cool. The motion lines. But he said this just screams anime, and maybe that's why I like it more. You definitely are not going to see this with Silver Age or Golden Age, but if you want to get somebody into like DC comic books and your kids are reading manga, this is a perfect artist to grab on and say, hey, check out this. And your kids will actually probably want to dig into this because it looks like anime. It reminds you of what was that series called? Voltron, Legendary Journeys, the one that was on Netflix. Kind of like an anime thing. Very much anime kind of style art. But not too over like crazy where they have like the Japanese anime where they have the giant bug eyes. Just a fan of all this stuff. And the giant, like the Texan King Omega, the font like that, it really stands out. Tell you, it's like a very very ominous or presence or voice talking to him. Bruce jumps in at the end here. into this giant lava pit. And then we're getting this AEW. Now, I didn't pick up this part. And this is Steve Orlando is doing AEW. AEW versus DC came out this week. And I don't like Steve Orlando, so maybe I'll go back when once it's done. But this is the preview part 3. It's supposed to be John Moxley, I think. I think that's what it's supposed to be. Is it Moxley? Yeah, that's supposed to be John Moxley, dude. Look how horrible that is, Breen.
Ugh.
Yeah. Because that's John Moxley on the back here. Yeah, so that's supposed to be that there. I don't know. Even if it had good art, I don't really go into the crossover stuff like that. It's like I wouldn't want to read WF, or I think they might have had it for WF. I think it was. I can't remember. Do you remember of any wrestling crossovers prior to this? Comic books, actual like WF or WE. I can't remember off the top of my head.
No, just the stuff the Chaos had.
Yeah, there was WCW, wasn't there?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, there was that. Yeah, now you mentioned it.
Yeah. I'm buying comics like the Feral, Archie crossovers, and Archie horror books. TMNT, I'm checking out. Comics like Geiger and Redcoat. TMNT's, if you like the Saturday morning cartoons, I grew up reading that. I recommend the Saturday Morning Adventures. Those are just fun, and they're callback, and there's a lot of Easter eggs to the show. And there's a lot of fourth wall breaking by Raphael. Not to the point where it's like nauseating like Deadpool or She-Hulk, they do it all the time now. But I'm like, it's just a little bit. He makes a subtle joke. And he's like, didn't we fight you guys in last time? And and then like, of course they'll make a joke about like, oh, hold on, relax. We still got 4 more issues before you guys can show up again. Stuff like that. I do like DC. I just don't buy the new stuff. I'd say this: like, if you do want to check out the newer stuff and you don't want to spend $5 on a Batman issue or whatever, and I would wait till it hits like the back shelf, the back issue shelves. Sometimes, like I have like comic books at my own shop, they'll be like $4. I'm like, who's buying Astonishing X-Men at $4 an issue? And that's from like the early 2000s. But a lot of these newer ones will drop down to $2 per issue, which might be a little more affordable.
Yeah.
If you're lucky, if it's really bad, it goes down to $1. I was getting a Walking Dead books for $1, dude. All the ones that weren't key issues. I'm reading Aquaman, The Challengers, and The Unknown, both from the 1958, soon to start 1959. Summoner. I hope you on your journey you were able to finish everything before you pass on, because you got a lot of years to go.
He might have enough years to do it. Breen and I wouldn't. But
I mean, if you're starting in your 20s, you might be, by the time you're 60s, you might be up to the 90s. Yeah. Yeah, me too. And it's not too many I like, but yeah. I don't know. Except there's a lot of good writers out there, but there's also a lot of bad writers. And even the good writers are because where they're working for, because of companies they have some sort of continuity. So that's one of the reasons I don't really like to buy a lot of new stuff, especially in Marvel and DC. Like, I don't care about this whole DC.KO stuff as much, but I'll buy certain issues written by certain writers. Like Josh Williamson is doing the one I just showed you with Dan Mora. That's Knightfight. That was a little mini series. I got that because there's a 4-issue Batman story with the Bat family, and it has nothing to do with Matt Fraction's run. 1 decade per year. All right. All right. But I'm trying to think of what my overall favorite book of last year was.
I thought you said that it was Redcoat.
I think it had to be Redcoat because, Redcoat consistently has been good. But if I had to choose from DC and Marvel, well, Marvel is still convenient personally as being you know what? I would say Moon Knight, but no, I would say Ultimate Spider-Man was my favorite.
Yeah. Yeah, that was.
Yeah, overall, because being a Spider-Man fan, that was like, dude, thank you, because you're catering to me.
Of course, they have to take the one that was probably selling the most and that everyone liked, and say, okay, we're going to cancel this. And
but they're bringing it back though. Ultimate Spider-Man or Ultimate Universe is not over. They're bringing it back. Miles is getting his own ongoing in the Ultimate Universe.
Jesus Christ. Forget about.
So, yeah. But DC, though? If I had to choose a DC book, man, because as I was reading Flash, I was reading Superman. Superman was really good. Apart from when I get the stupid events. Yeah, let's see. Last year I read Challenge of the Unknown. Yeah, last year's show was super good with Wonder Woman. It saved the show. A comic book. I have thousands of comics. I'm rereading them right now. That's the thing, though. I talked to Rob about this on Extreme Movie Show. It's like I may have watched a movie about like 10 years ago, and sometimes I forget what's actually inside the actual movie. So I have to go back and rewatch it. It's a brand new watch for me. That's how it is for me with comic books too. There's a lot of them that I've read. I haven't really started rereading them, but for the few I do, it's like, I'm like, oh yeah, that's what happened. Once I start reading it, I start remembering. But I'm not like Breen, who have a photographic memory. Like, what cover? Hey, what cover is that from? Or what year is that? Breen can like tell me exactly what's in that story. Like looking at a cover sometimes.
Or if it's a certain era.
Oh well, yeah. Well, that's your favorite era there that you're really into. What's my favorite Batman movie offhand? Like live action or like animated? Live action Batman. The one I've probably watched more than all of them, and I'll get flack for this, is the Pattinson Batman. I just love the whole aesthetic to it. Now people say it was emo Batman, but like they all wore the black under their eyes.
But that's the one that actually makes sense, because you see all of them, they have it, but then they take it off and it's not there.
Keaton had it under his eyes too. You just didn't see it because they would edit it out, the clip where he's taking his mask off.
I do like the Pattinson one. My favorite of all of them would probably be, and this is, probably think I'm a joiner for this one, but The Dark Knight. I think it's a tad bit too long, but I really did like it. And if the movies had been better, I think my favorite Batman would have been Batfleck. If he'd been written a little bit better. If he'd gotten his own solo movie, it was written by Affleck, I think that would have been my favorite Batman.
Had they actually given Batfleck his own movie, it would have been probably a decent movie. But the fact they tried to shoehorn him in with Superman was dumb. Ben Affleck was pretty good in the role as Bruce Wayne, and I liked the fact it was like a older Batman who kind of somewhat semi-retired. But
Jeremy Irons is my favorite. But the Alfred, no matter,
Sure. I still like the original Alfred though, not the TV series, but as far as the
Napier.
What was the one from the '89, the Batman?
Oh, okay. I thought you were going way back and going 66.
No, I said aside from 66, the live act. Yeah, I like the one that was with Alfred. That was with all the
the first four.
Yeah, the first four, pretty much. Yeah. I thought it was pretty good, but if I could choose not just live action, I would go from the Batman series overall. That was a much better Alfred than the live action ones, at least for me. But as far as cartoon animated ones, I'm trying to think back. No, because I do like Batman Bad Blood. But because I watched all of them, not just the ones that have Kevin Conroy. I watched the other one. I like the Jason O'Hara and Bruce Greenwood. Bruce Greenwood is a person I never would expect to be Batman.
Yeah, no kidding.
It was always against, And then we just had the last one was Dean Winchester guy. Jensen Ackles was voicing him in the Infinite crossover.
Yeah.
Michael Gow, thank you. What we got here?
I still think the warehouse scene was the best Batman fight scene ever put on screen.
Kind of reminded me of the Daredevil hallway scene a little bit. Because anytime I get a freaking like a fighting scene now, it just seems like a lot of them are like pause, then wait, and then one another, and it's like we see that in a lot of movies. Rob and I, who are Extreme Movie Show, we go over a lot of the martial arts, Hong Kong 80 movie stuff, and they're so different from Hollywood live action. Hollywood live action, when they have fighting scenes, it's literally like the CW Arrow. They run, everybody takes a partner and fights, and then it stops, and it's like it's all choreography, like basically like very you can tell it's very fake, you know.
I saw a thing where someone broke down all the different styles of the Batfleck warehouse scene. There's about like 8 different styles from like Krav Maga and all this stuff, and that makes sense because Batman knows, like ass load of.
So if Batman's not punching a guy and throwing him through a wall, plaster wall into another room, like you see what Arnold did in some of those movies. Oh, no, yeah, Commando. Yeah. Because him and Billy Dukes, they go through the hotel wall. I want that. Like I want like some of that, and I also want Batman using his grappling hook to pull people up.
Well, he did that in the warehouse scene.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I like about that. It reminds you of the animated stuff. So, I'm trying to think though. There was a. Oh yeah, this is my really big hot take for the Knights. So you guys are warned for this, and for those who are late in the martial arts, still pop up middle sign here. This is my hot take for the night. All right, you've been warned. So, I believe it's Enter the Dragon that has Chuck Norris versus Bruce Lee.
Mm-hmm.
That fight, everybody says like one of the best fights ever. I watched it, and you'll see Bruce Lee. He'll try one form of fighting, and he gets his ass kicked, and then he switches to another one. Honestly, I thought it was a joke. I thought that Chuck Norris could have wiped him at the floor with him if he wanted to, but it was scripted that he wouldn't because he's the bad guy. So I didn't like as much.
It's just he couldn't have won because he didn't have his beard.
Didn't have that
his beard. He could have won.
Doesn't need his beard, bro. Chuck Norris didn't have his beard because his beard is afraid of him.
Well, it's just the beard is to hide his third fist because he has another fist underneath his beard.
Do I have one game of the Batman movie? Like which movie? Talking about there's Batman Begins. There was a game on Xbox 360, I think it was, or PS4. Arkham Knight. I played all the Batman games as you're asking, except for a few that were on the PS1. I played on the Sega CD, the Batman game on there too, and a few others. But overall, Batman game is the original Arkham series. But I still like. I think it was. I'm trying to think. Was it Arkham City or the one after that? Arkham Origins, I think it was. I think it's the one I liked. But yeah. I'm probably the one who plays video games. Geeky, is he's too old for video games?
I used to do the standards of the arcades.
Back in the day.
I don't think I've ever owned a gaming system.
Really?
No.
Not even Nintendo 64 or PS2?
Nope.
Wow. Well, you were still in the service during like the Sony years, the early Sony years?
I was 87 and 91.
Okay, so that's when you got out of the service. Okay. Huh.
But I've had friends who've had that stuff. Like, one of my best friends is a big gamer and stuff, and
I grew out of the games because I feel like a lot of the systems are just overly expensive now, and the games are not as good as they were. I like the games playing. Like my favorite games were like the Dragon Age and also the Batman games and the Spider-Man games. You know, the Kevin Conroy Arkham games were fun. And if you ever seen the game footage of that, those are just awesome. They even did was that last year or year before? Might have been a couple years ago. They released a VR version of Arkham Asylum or something like that, and like you get to be the Batman, and you're fighting like basically the VR stuff, the goggles on, the Oculus, and you're using that. That is very trippy, but the story's done well. I never owned a gaming system either. Says, hey, here you go.
Yeah, and he's younger than I am, so
Yeah, Vangman, I'm taking off. I can't contribute anything to this part of the.
I was waiting for this because pretty much going to end it anyway. I was hoping Zach would jump on, but
well, I don't end it because I'm leaving. How you guys talking video game stuff? Why quit now?
I won't be able to add to the conversation either. So
no. And like I said, I don't want to make this too long. Last week was like 4 hours.
All right.
Yeah, so this is 2 hours and 20 minutes, man. This I think is long enough. But yeah, tomorrow night we're gonna go back and maybe do another Golden Age comic book reading live around 8 p.m. Eastern. Looking at doing other World's Finest. We've been reading those. Those have been fun. I think we're on issue 19 now or something like that, or 18. Those are just hilarious. The Lesters will be joining us, and then of course Breen, Verania, and I'm not sure. Well, yeah, I was gonna give them. Yeah, Professor Pix. I'm not sure if he's joining though, but Trusty will be with us.
I won't.
So for all of those on the East Coast, it's 11:30 for you. So we're under it now because I know you guys are going to be complaining tomorrow at the comic book cover ranking when he goes to like 1 a.m. So, if you haven't done so, please like, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. Also, check out Extreme Movie Show. That is 3 words. Extreme with a XTREME movie show. And Rob and I are doing reviews over there. We just were reviewing the Transporter movie series. We just did number 2. Breen's been over there too a couple times. We did some holiday reviews this past Christmas. So if you guys like movie reviews or TV show reviews, we talk about Landman, Tulsa King, a lot of that stuff over there. We're even reviewing Fallout right now. And they just finished up, what was that? Mads Mikkelsen's Hannibal Lecter series on NBC from like 10 or 12 years ago. Rob and I are going to dip into Miami Vice season 1. Probably not this week, but maybe the following week. After Fall is done, is run its course. We'll start out Miami Vice either on Tuesdays or Sundays.
So many different people who had some like huge cameos in there.
It is fantastic. I have the series behind me, as you just can't see it. It's put up in a box to top me. Actually, hold on.
Uncle Ted was in it.
Uncle Ted, yeah. So was Bruce Willis. So we're gonna start reviewing this Miami Vice. Just a fantastic series. James Edward Olmos and Michael Tubbs, and said just so many different as far as cameos. We had Gus Fringe. I forgot what his name is in real life. Gustavo Fringe or whatever. Or I don't remember what his name is, but the guy from Breaking Bad. He was the Chicken King, guy. Michael Richards was on here. Bruce Willis. I said that already. Said we had Michael Bolton.
I believe.
No, not Michael Bolton. Ted Nugent was on here too.
Yep.
Yeah, just so many celebrities. Yeah, Phil Collins.
Sheena
Easton. Yeah, it is just a fantastic series. So if you've never watched Miami Vice, I got the box set. I went to it was a 20 disc set. This is a DVD.
Damn.
Yeah. So I ended up going to my local thrift store, and they had a lot of this stuff. And like I could have got All in the Family if I wanted to do a collection, but I was like, dude, I can get Miami Vice. I mean, because it was free in Tubi for a while. I watched like the first 2 seasons. Just like crack, man. I was watching like 10 or almost 4 to 10 episodes like every week. And so we're gonna check out this on probably in the next couple of weeks or so over Extreme Movie Show. So go subscribe over there. Pixel and Rob are on Wednesday nights at around 9 p.m. Eastern. They are reviewing the James Bond movies now. They just did a movie over there. I think the world is not enough. So, but we're gonna stop here. Thank you for watching and subscribing. For those who hit the like button, thank you for that. Do just ask that you leave a comment down below. So leaving a comment does help out the channel. It tells the algorithm that, hey, we like this, but we also appreciate you just being here the whole entire time if you can, even if you're not commenting. But thank you to Winslick Dude, Summoner, Cheeseburger Comics, to Maranya, Bentley Hilzer. Also to who else we get popped in here? We had Jay Lucian, and I believe we had a few others, didn't we? I can't remember. Aiden, what's up? And then we had Jackson. And if I missed your name, I apologize. But I did not see Brian in here this week. But that's it. Good night, everyone. Say good night, Breen.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.
I say good night, Breen.